With folded hands, I begin this narration in deep gratitude to the eternal wisdom of the ancients and to the guiding light of my Guru, without whom these words would not carry life. To that divine grace I bow before beginning this sacred story. Long ago, both Devas and Asuras sought immortality. The Devas, the celestial beings who maintained cosmic order, had lost their strength and were no longer able to protect the creation. The Asuras, the demons, with their greed and ambition, desired to dominate the three realms of existence. To regain their strength and to defeat the Asuras, the Devas sought the divine Amrita, the nectar of immortality. Lord Vishnu, ever wise and compassionate, advised the Devas to work together with the Asuras to churn the great ocean of milk, where the nectar of immortality lay hidden. Vishnu instructed the Devas and Asuras to use Mount Mandara as the churning rod and the mighty serpent Vasuki as the rope. The Devas and Asuras each took a side, pulling the serpent back and forth. But as the churning began, the ocean trembled and rumbled, sending waves high into the sky. The very forces of creation and destruction began to collide. As the serpent was pulled, the ocean began to churn, and it was only a matter of time before the treasures of the universe would rise. The churning continued with great effort, and the heavens trembled. The Devas and Asuras pulled with all their might, determined to extract the Amrita. But soon the mountain began to sink under the pressure of the churning, threatening to collapse the entire operation. That's when Lord Vishnu, seeing this crisis, took his divine form, Kurmamatara, the giant tortoise. Vishnu dove into the ocean and supported the mountain upon his back, preventing it from sinking. The churning continued with renewed hope as the two sides worked together, pulling the serpent back and forth. As the churning continued, a great calamity unfolded. Instead of nectar, the first thing to emerge from the ocean was the halahala, the deadliest poison ever known. This poison, black and fierce, rose from the ocean like a great storm cloud, filling the air with a toxic, suffocating mist. The very essence of destruction threatened to unravel the cosmos. The heavens grew dark, and the oceans began to boil. The Devas, unable to withstand the poison's effect, fell to their knees. The very fabric of creation was at risk. Even the Asuras, driven by their greed, recoiled in fear at the power of the poison. The world itself seemed to be unraveling. In their desperation, the Devas turned to Lord Vishnu for help. With folded hands, they prayed, "O Lord, preserver of all worlds, you alone have the power to save us. The poison has consumed everything. Please guide us. Without you, the worlds will fall into darkness." Vishnu, calm and serene, heard their cries and responded with a gentle smile. He said, "This poison cannot be destroyed, but there is one who has the power to contain it, Lord Shiva. Go to Mount Kailasa and seek his grace. Only he can bear the burden of this poison." The Devas, filled with hope, climbed the sacred Mount Kailasa to seek Lord Shiva's help. There, Shiva sat in deep meditation, his mind still, his body surrounded by an aura of peace. The Devas fell at his feet and, with trembling voices, prayed, "O Lord of Lords, destroyer of all poison, you alone have the power to protect creation. We are helpless without you. Please save the worlds." Shiva, moved by their devotion, opened his eyes. The world seemed to pause as his divine gaze rested upon the Devas. he spoke with compassion. "Do not fear. For the sake of creation, I will bear this poison." Without hesitation, Shiva walked to the churning site, where the poison continued to spread. He approached the ocean, and with his infinite power, he gathered the deadly halahala into his palms. Without a second thought, he drank the poison, its dark essence flowing into him. The universe held its breath as the poison entered Shiva's throat. It was so powerful that it could destroy all existence. But Shiva, with infinite courage, bore it without flinching. His throat began to burn, turning deep blue from the poison's potency. Goddess Parvati, seeing Shiva's sacrifice, quickly pressed her hand upon his throat to stop the poison from moving further. The poison remained trapped in Shiva's throat, and he became known as Nilakanta, the blue-throated one, the savior of the universe. The poison was contained, and creation was saved. The skies cleared, and the universe returned to balance. The Devas bowed in gratitude, and the Asuras, though frustrated, had no choice but to accept their fate. The churning continued, and from the ocean rose divine treasures and beings, including the goddess Lakshmi, the wish-fulfilling cow Kamadhenu, and many other priceless gifts for both the Devas and the Asuras. The Amrita, the nectar of immortality, would soon be revealed, but the true victory lay in the sacrifice of Shiva, who bore the poison for the sake of all creation. And thus ends the tale of the Samudra Manthan. It is not just a story of gods and demons, but a timeless truth, that in the churning of life, both poison and nectar arise. What matters is how we face them. May we remember Lord Vishnu's guidance, the Devas' devotion, and above all, Lord Shiva's supreme compassion. And this is just the beginning. In the next video, we shall explore what treasures and beings emerge from the ocean during the churning, and how this entire event is deeply connected to the sacred SriSuktam. Stay tuned for the continuation of this divine legend. Hari Om Tat Sat.